We're now talking with Colin Ball from Bombardier. Thank you very much for talking with me at ISTAT. So I'd like to give you a question that I gave to your competitor yesterday. And essentially it goes like this. Delta made a decision in the 100 to 150 seat market last year. Made a big commitment. It happens to be to your airplane. Do you think that the decision they made, is there a domino effect at American, at United, at Alaska, JetBlue, and the other US carriers? Do you think they can ignore Delta's decision, or do they need to react in some way?
Well, I don't think anybody ignores a decision from the likes of Delta Airlines or any of the other majors. I think there is already some action taking place in the US market, for sure. The Delta decision is not an isolated one. There's a lot going on in that 100 to 150 seater market and also below that 100 seat mark. What we're seeing is a significant wave of upgauging in the regional jet market. So we can expect in years to come a lot of the 50 seaters to be upgauged and replaced by larger regional jets, just as markets grow. And in the same way, you would expect markets that are covered today by the large regional jets, 76 seaters and the like, to move into the next level, and that is exactly that 100 to 150 seat market. Now, for a number of years, that hasn't happened. Why didn't it happen? Because there wasn't really a suitable product to address that 100 to 150 seat market. Now there is. The C Series is a fantastic product, and we believe it will have a huge impact on the US carriers and North American carriers in general. Let's not forget Air Canada also made a very significant commitment to the C Series. And we expect that to spread just naturally. Obviously, the competitors have a keen eye on Delta, but they also have a very keen eye on their own traffic, on their own bottom line. And what we're bringing to the market is a very, very efficient machine that fills a very significant gap between the 76-seater large regional jets and the Airbus and Boeing, the smallest aircraft in the Airbus and Boeing stables.
You mentioned Airbus and Boeing. Yesterday we heard the CEO of Avalon referred to the future as the duopoly. I don't know if you heard him say that. It was really interesting about, obviously, Airbus, Bombardier, Boeing, Embraer. Do you have any thoughts on, I understand that obviously both companies, Embraer, Bombardier, well, let's say both sides of that duopoly are in negotiations and there's a lot of stuff that cannot be spoken about. Is there anything you can speak about from your own business thing going on with Airbus? Is there any you can share?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that our discussions with Airbus are going extremely well. There is positive engagement on both sides, and clearly there's a natural fit. And why is there a natural fit? Because we are bringing a product that's very complementary to what Airbus currently has. And without talking overly about our competitors, I think Boeing has also realized that, and hence the move they've made towards Embraer, and filling that gap below their existing product line. Both Airbus and Boeing have recognized that gap is there, that the 100 to 150 seat market is a significant one, that it could not be ignored, and it is a market that is likely to be very active over the coming months and coming years, and not just in North America, but obviously in other regions, or even all other regions of the world over the coming years.
And other regions of the world actually is a great segue. How influential do you think the North American airlines are? You mentioned, of course, go beyond just the United States, include Air Canada, which is a very good point. Air Canada, Delta have made a big decision around the small airplane, let's say the crossover mainline jet, for want of a better term.
That's a very good term, actually.
It wasn't mine. Somebody else gave me that idea. So if we look at that segment, how influential, if American and United, and of course the others like Alaska, JetBlue, and so on, react and make their own appropriate decisions, how influential do you think that is going to be beyond the shores of North America? Because these are very big airlines and they are the kiss of life for many programs, right?
Everybody pays attention to a large airline order. There's no question about it, and particularly the US carriers, just because of their scale and their knowledge and their maturity. So absolutely no question about it. That said, I think the other airlines of the world and the other regions of the world have their own pace and their own parameter and their own issues, which in some cases can be similar to the ones that the US carriers have. In some cases will be different or will come at a different point in time. European airlines are not competing with US carriers with a 100 to 150 seater, unlike what might be the case with a wide-body aircraft, a long-haul aircraft. In that case, of course, a US carrier is flying into a European market or flying into an Asian market, and the European and Asian carriers cannot but pay attention to that and make sure they're competing with the right product. Obviously, we're in a slightly different situation where North American carriers are competing with North American carriers, albeit there may be some feeder traffic, but primarily flying those 100 to 150 seaters in North America, and European carriers are flying within Europe, Asian carriers are flying within Asia, Middle Eastern carriers are flying within the Middle East. So I don't think there's an acute need to react to a Delta decision for a European or an Asian carrier, or to whatever the next decision may be in North America. I think the case for the C series and more broadly the case for the 100 to 150 seaters, small single aisle, will find its own way. It will come naturally. It is a market that's tremendously underbooked, undersold. When you look at the existing fleet, and there's going to be significant catch up, even more so in that there are products in the market that are extremely efficient. If you look at the larger single aisle market, basically I'll call it the Airbus and Boeing market, and you look at the backlog, the order book, basically there are as many aircraft on order today in that segment as there are aircraft in operation in that segment. It's pretty much a 1-for-1 order book to in operation figure. Whereas if you look at that smaller single aisle market where we operate with the C series, it's more like 6-to-1 in terms of number of aircraft in operation today versus number of aircraft on order. Now, there's a continuum of seat capacity in this market, and that continuum will remain, and that requirement for 100 to 150 seaters will remain or even grow as you get more efficient aircraft coming on the market. So you would expect if there are 3,600 odd aircraft in operation in that segment today, well, there will be at least that many that will be first of all replaced, and then we're forecasting an overall market for that segment of close to 7,000, 6,800, 7,000 aircraft over the next 20 years. Basically, only 600 of those have been ordered. So there's going to be a tremendous amount of action in that segment.
Thank you very much.